hello. I had a false hello there. It's Thursday somewhere, so it must be Lisa's turn. Hi, from room 3428. I'm going to dive right into the questions because we have a lot of them, but first of all, we're going to see if we can see a shot. Look at the bear, Kitty, and the Pippin. Yes, bear and the Pippi. Pippalushka. It must be bath time. Okay, Josh. First love and first betrayal. I honestly don't remember my first betrayal. I think I've blocked it out, which is not necessarily a bad thing. First love was Clancy. When I met him and I knew within a couple of months that we were going to be married and together for the rest of our lives. That kind of showed me that all the crushes that I'd had before were exactly that, crushes. He was my first love. He's my only love. And everything else was insignificant compared to what I felt for him and what I feel for him. And as it's Thursday, May 29th, and it is his birthday, happy birthday, Clancy, I love you. First memory of Edward. Everybody was talking about Edward. Oh, when's Edward going to be here? Oh, when's Edward going to be here? And this was at Prophecy. And I remember people kept saying, he's so neat, he's so this, he's so that. And I'm thinking, who is this demigod of a man? And then he walked in, and I watched him, and of course the hair. And just, I saw the way he reacted to people, and I saw the way he was totally in the now with people, and I thought, I understand. Edward is a demigod. So, yeah, that's my first memory of Edward. Notes. It's interesting that you said Excalibur, Andy, because that was my first inclination when I said the challenge last week, or asked the question last week. But I agree with all your reasons for why it's perfect for you. I think it is ageless and magical and young yet mature, and has just this kind of whole conglomeration, which really, really works for you. And it's totally distracting me that this isn't syncing up, and I'm sorry, Addie. I'm sorry. I suck. Anyway, so I had to think of another hotel, and I actually thought of a hotel, not really a hotel, but a place, and that's Fremont Street. For those of you who don't know, Fremont Street in Las Vegas was the downtown area, and it was where a lot of the original hotels were, and it kind of went into this decline, and kind of got old, and nobody wanted to go there. Everybody wanted the Strip, which was flashy. And then it kind of went through a revitalization, and it reinvented itself, and it became a hip, happening, wonderful place to be, and it now is constantly evolving and changing, and I like that it keeps its maturity, and it's true to its roots, but it keeps evolving. So that was good. Family. I know I showed you some of my family, but I actually have a picture of my mom and dad. It's actually something I drew. So, this is Do, and this is Moo, and I drew this August 1971. And then I guess I found it, and on the back it says, although my images of you have changed over the years, the love remains the same. Much love, Lisa, Christmas 1988. So I'd given it back to them in Christmas 1988. Yeah, I must have been broke. I'm sorry, I really do. But that's that. Things can't do without. I'm not a makeup girl. I should be. I mean, I do use a lot of product on my hair, but I'm very fickle with that. I'll try anything new on my hair just to see if it works. Although I will say I only do Aveda color. Yeah. But I think the one thing that I can't do without is the white linen perfume. Love my white linen. And I think it was Josh who told me at Prophecy. He's like, oh, you smell good. So I guess it works. Holy shit, MJ. Benefits is expensive. I mean, I bought a bunch tonight. I'm sitting there clicking and buying while I'm watching your vlog tonight, and Clancy's going to absolutely hate you, but you know, I want to try the eye cream, because I do get those circles. Kim, to combat stress in my life. This sounds really stupid, but the best way to combat stress I have found is letting it go. There are certain things you can't change in this world, and you're never going to change them. And the more you change them, the more you're just pounding your head against a brick wall. So I handle what I can handle that's right in front of me, and I try to affect positive change in the things that I can affect positive change on. And if I can't, I have to recognize that I hate the fact that I have to let it go, but I have to let it go, or else I'd explode. Because I've got way too much stress in my life. Yeah. So yeah, letting it go, recognizing it, holding up and saying, this stresses me out, and then going, it's the best way. Oh, I forgot Patronus. My Patronus would be a griffin, because I feel a real affinity for them. I think they're contradictions, and in the way they look, you know, the eagle, the lion, flying but roaring, and they have loyalty, and they're protective, and mythical, and strange, but fun. Yeah. And I especially like the kind of griffins that I have in my books, and one of my favorite images is in one of the books, the griffin picks up a wizard and shakes him, and I don't know, I like griffins, so yeah, griffin. Surgery. The list. Okay. I had my tonsils out when I was in kindergarten. I had my appendix out when I was in 6th grade. I had my wisdom teeth out when I was in high school. I had 2 C-sections, not 1, but 2. 14 glorious months apart. Gallbladder, about 6 weeks after the 2nd C-section. And last year I had what's called a uterine ablation, where they go in and they laser off the inside of your uterus, so that now I don't get my period anymore. Rock. I have to mail Lizzie something. It's going to be good. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's hopefully going to be good. What magical object would I have from Harry Potter? I'm going to say a pensieve, because I really wish I could capture a lot of the things, especially with my kids, and that perfect memory. You know, the way my son's face looked when I told him we were going to have dinner with Shamu. My daughter's expression the first time she saw Santa Claus. The way they looked playing on the back lawn at our first house in New York when we went out to the back fort for a picnic. My husband wrestling with them on the couch, and oh my God, oh, my son's belly laugh, which is so infectious and so out of this world. Ask Addie. My son can laugh and everybody will laugh. It's just the best. So yeah, I would think that would be a really cool thing to have, so that you could take out those memories and relook at them. Funniest story, which went back to one of the things that Josh had asked. I'll try to condense this down as much as possible, but possibly one of the funniest things that I ever did, or I remember in my life, is when I was in college, and it was me and Katie and Melissa and Tracy, and we all went out to a bar together, because that's what you do. And I had 27 kamikaze shots. Yeah. And I tend to throw off my liquor very, very quickly. It's just something that I could do. So I was the only one halfway sober by the end of the evening, and we couldn't find Melissa. Katie and I could not find Melissa. Our friend Tracy was trashed, and it was really dangerous for her to be trashed, because she had some medical conditions that wasn't really good for her, but hey, she was kind of a danger girl. Anyway, so we prop Tracy up, and we go and try to find Missa. And we're in the bathroom, and we finally find her in the bathroom. She's got her hands on either side of the stall, and I'm trying to talk her out of the bathroom. Like, Missa, honey, we gotta go. The bar's gonna close soon. You gotta come out of the bar, or come out of the bathroom. And she kept telling me, no, just give me 5 more minutes. Just give me 5 more minutes. Well, about a half hour later, I look at Katie, and I'm like, I gotta go get Tracy and start walking her off this drunk. So I take Tracy out into the parking lot, and I'm walking her back and forth, and I'm constantly talking to her, And finally, she says to me, I say, now Tracy, what are you never going to do again? And she's like, I'm never, ever, ever, I'm never, ever. And I'm thinking, thank God she's going to say, I'm never going to drink all this kind of alcohol again. I'm never, ever going to change my major. Thinking, okay, that's a good thing to think. We finally get Melissa out, we get her in the car, we're somehow getting home. The next morning, Melissa is so hungover, and I went to her and I'm like, Missa, honey, can I get you anything? And her classic response to me was, a gun. She was absolutely miserable, but it was just that whole night, you get those kind of nights where just everything was funny. Katie was doing Maud Shakespeare, Obi, Juste kind of things, and yeah, it was fun. It was a great night. So that's kind of the funniest experience ever for me. Trying to think if I've gotten everything. I've tried to keep this short. I know this has gone long. I don't have a blooper reel at the end of my vlog because, let's face it, my whole fucking vlog is a blooper reel. Until next week, mwah.